Ralf Speth wins Issigonis trophy at Autocar Awards. The chief executive officer of Jaguar Land Rover is leading his company through extraordinary growth to ever greater success. JLR people still talk about the day, 7 years ago, when Ralf Speth returned to Solihull as the new CEO of Jaguar and Land Rover. It was a couple of years after Tata had bought the twin iconic British marques from Ford. Speth, who spent most of his early career at BMW, had already done a couple of tough stints in Britain, the first as part of the team struggling to build a viable business at Rover, the second as director of production, quality and product planning inside Ford's overloaded Premier Automotive Group, which contained not only Jaguar and Land Rover but also the Aston Martin, Volvo and Lincoln marques. Autocar Awards, the 2017 winners. Kia's Peter Schreier wins Sturmey Award. Those present at the fateful 150-strong JLR managers meeting remember their surprise that Speth, having had 2 tough British jobs, interspersed by 4 much calmer years in Germany, should want to come back for more. But they were glad he did. It was a great day, says one witness. Ralf held up the Land Rover watch he still wore and told us how proud he was to be back. He wanted the new group to be successful, because Britain needed a car industry. Let's speed up, he said, and it went down a storm. This must have been one of Speth's few rabble-rousing performances. He's not a natural bravura man, preferring soft-voiced and rather intense discussion among smaller groups, whom he expects to be as well-informed as he is. His authority inside JLR is great, partly because of his reputation for asking the question you hoped he wouldn't, but mostly because of the huge progress he has brought in just 7 years. Here's a short, extraordinary summary. Since 2010, JLR's vehicle output has quadrupled to 604,000, a tally that company insiders wouldn't even have whispered a short time ago. A new record is expected for 2017, and nowadays even JLR's famously cautious CEO doesn't demur if you suggest 1 million might be in prospect under the right post-Brexit conditions. Maybe after we've set up our new factory in Slovakia, we might get close to that, he allows. JLR's profits now run at around £1.50 by lively in a year, although the benevolent attitude of the parent Tata Group, whose board Speth joined in 2015, the same year he was awarded an honorary knighthood, has resulted in JLR becoming the UK's biggest investor in R&D. Spending has exceeded £6 billion over the past 2 years and shows absolutely no sign of abating. To handle the growth, JLR's workforce has expanded in 5 years from 15,000 to 42,000. Its recruitment of engineers has been so single-minded, 17,000 and counting, that the new demand has raised the traditionally low status of the profession in this country. An engineer is no longer someone who mends your washing machine, marvels one JLR lifer. An engineer is someone who works on Jaguar's fabulous new electric I-Pace that's about to give Tesla a bloody nose. Speth can't collect his latest accolade, the 2017 Issigonis Trophy, Autocar's most prestigious and most personal award, at the official ceremony, because while the rest of us are celebrating in the Silverstone wing, he will be at a Tata Group board meeting in Mumbai, the first under a newly appointed chairman. He is likely to be a star turn as he reveals JLR's latest financial results, which are expected to be stellar. Thus Mr. Editor Tis Shaw and I have come to Solihull to make the presentation early, whereupon the CEO gives us a half day of his valuable time. We fill it with a tour of the latest dealer-to-dealer exhibition, a fascinating walk through 48 years of Range Rovers, open to the public, plus a good look at the early, highly flexible body and final assembly lines from which the latest Range Rover dealer is about to spring. Then there's a working lunch in Solihull's Swish Customer Delivery Centre and a comprehensive talk about JLR's and Speth's matters of the moment. Which is where we first alight on the diesel issue. Most of JLR's new cars are powered by them. The Wolverhampton plant opened in 2014 makes them by the 100,000, and the CEO has extremely strong opinions about their recent demonization, making absolutely no attempt to temper his passion. I am a very strong advocate of diesels, he declares, but let me say to start that the manipulating software we've recently seen being used in the market is completely unacceptable. It's dishonest, and we all suffer. The diesel has to have a future. We need diesels, and not just for passenger cars. London is fed by diesels. Anyone who thinks they can simply remove diesels from the megacities of the world will soon discover they're wrong. For now, there's no alternative. We must support efforts to get rid of older diesels, and we must accept some shift to petrol cars. But we must also be faster with our move to electrification. Can JLR's Wolverhampton engine plant cope if its newly launched diesels are spurned by a proportion of buyers? Our plants are flexible, says Speth. We built them so they could change the mix of what they make. But a decline will be bad for all of us. We'll miss our CO2 targets. And on particulates, so much in the news, there is no longer a significant difference in output between new diesel and new petrol engines. So why, I'm wondering, has the industry been so lukewarm about fighting what most see as diesel disinformation in the daily press? It's because people believe the industry isn't credible on diesel subjects anymore, Speth says. Buyers don't think we're giving them the latest information. We'll probably see a decline in diesel sales, and especially a move away from diesels in small cars, and it won't be for the right reasons. This is also a big reason why 50% of our product lineup will be electrified in some form by 2020. We'll have mild hybrid models, plug-ins and pure EVs like the I-Pace. Speth's peers recognize him as a particular expert on the advancing electric vehicle society, a progression he characterizes as ICE to ACE, internal combustion engine to autonomous connected electric vehicle. There's no conversion switch that will electrify everything, says Speth. You can't say diesels will be gone in 2020 and all the new stuff will be electric or hybrid. It won't. But if we assume that 25% to 30% of all cars will be electrified in some way by 2025, we need to worry about charging infrastructure, because it's hard to see now how it will cope. That's one reason we have to go on developing internal combustion engines. We consider a couple of extreme JLR cases for future electrification, a Land Rover Defender and a Jaguar F-Type. Speth is famous for keeping absolutely